Yeah, hi there, and these comments, I'm going to just use your initials N, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT, and I'm going to listen to your integrated speaking practice test.
I'm going to talk what I read from the passage. And
now I would say for more informal type speech, instead of I'm gonna, I would say I'm going to or I will talk about. So when you're sending me a recording, I would speak in a little more formal way.
What I listen from the record.
I would say not from the record. We'll usually say from the recording. We'll put ing on it. And even then, I would probably say from the lecture or the listening passage is probably a better way to refer to that information. So you say, I'm going to talk about what I've read. Excuse me. So I'm going to talk about what I read and what I listened to from the listening passage. So when you say listen, you have to put that preposition to directly after
the passage and listen. The passage and the record.
The passage, I would say the reading and the listening passage, or the reading passage and the listening passage.
About internet and the civilization. The passage.
But what specifically there? So I think the reading passage is discussing the negative effects of the internet, and the listening passage is discussing the positive effects.
Mention the example of the bad influence from the internet that child has.
So I would say when you move to stating the topic of the reading passage, don't just start with the details. Say, first of all, according to the reading passage, the internet can have negative effects. I think that's the best way to introduce that topic, and that clearly states what the main point is.
And a problem from the child molester. And the record show a good example for the company and the company.
Now you're having some trouble here. Now when you say record, you're talking about the recording, which means the listening passage. Now I suggest, because the information in the listening passage is the opposite of the information in the reading passage, you should probably use a word like however or on the other hand, and that shows how the information from the two sources, the information is different.
Had a high profit from the internet.
So again, you're not really stating the purpose of the listening passage. What is the purpose? The purpose is the internet's talking about the positive effects of the internet, looking at it from a economic and educational perspective. Am I right? That's what you want to state as your main idea, and that more clearly frames what's going to happen after that.
Also, the economics and the potentially valuable and education opportunity.
So when you're speaking, you have a lot of pauses, a lot of hesitations. It disrupts the fluency of your speaking. So what do? I recommend that you take a look at my pronunciation lessons 41 through 44. They focus around thought groups and blending, and that'll give you some good practice on how you can prevent or eliminate some of these unnecessary pauses and hesitations in your speech.
It gives the internet has positive effect in civilization.
Okay, so I think on this one, let's take a look at the rubrics. I think from a topic development standpoint, I'm going to comment on your response in 3 areas: topic development, language use, and delivery. So topic development means your organization, not that good, to be honest with you. You need a much better organization in the beginning. Like I said, you need to frame the purpose of the reading and the listening. So in the beginning of your response, you can say something like this. You can say, the reading and the listening passage discuss the positive and negative effects of the internet. First of all, according to the reading passage, the internet has negative effects. And then you give 1 or 2 examples from the passage to explain that. Then you say, on the other hand, according to the lecture, the internet can have positive effects, specifically from an economic and educational point of view. Then you discuss the 2 points, how the internet is positive from an economic standpoint, how the internet can also be positive from an educational standpoint, give examples from both those areas, and then you have a very clear organization. So your response was not complete, it wasn't entirely accurate, and it wasn't that organized. So you got to make some improvements here. To help you with the organization, take a look at my speaking lesson number 7. It'll give you some good tips on how to more coherently organize your ideas. Language use, you're having trouble speaking about the information. Your vocabulary is a little bit basic. You're not sure sometimes about what vocabulary or what grammar you should use. So I know that you're already practicing a lot in the grammar part of my course. Keep practicing. This is going to be very, very important for you. Because right now, you're not speaking and using natural sounding vocabulary and grammar. You say record according to the record. I say according to the listening passage or according to the recording, right? So you're sometimes not sure how to say things. Delivery, which means pronunciation, a lot of unnecessary pauses and hesitations in your speech. You got to work on speaking more naturally and more fluently. Okay, your score on this particular speaking task, on this one, I'm going to put you at about 2.0 out of 4, 15 points out of 30 on this practice test. This is probably what you would score right now for the TOEFL IBT. Now, let's take a look at the syllabus. I'm going to go to page 9. So 2.0, this is going to put you at 70% on this assignment. All right, anyway, thank you very much for completing the assignment. Now, the next one is going to be harder. I'll be honest with you, so you want to practice. I've given you some suggestions of specific lessons that you should study right now. You want to do these things immediately and study these recommended lessons. This is going to help prepare you for the next integrated speaking practice test in this class. All right, thank you.